Thierry Verheisten is your 5th driver on the grid. In at number 17. Thierry always loves a wave. Got to give it credit where credit's due. He loves to give a camera a wave. And there we go, he's done it once again. Very camera friendly. Paul Marichal in 6th position. There we go. Look, wink to the camera. Okay, I like that. Something a little bit different. A little bit worried for the drivers in the open top cars, because they're going to end up being in a swimming pool by the end of this race if it rains like I think it's going to rain. Robin Nielsen, our 3rd Swede on the grid in the number 59. Staring down the camera. Doesn't want to give us a wave. Fair play. Andrzejczyk in the number 76. White and gold. Which is probably one of the more beautiful cars on the grid. They're all lovely. They're Lotuses, of course they're lovely. Lotuses, Lotus I. I don't know, what would you call the plural? What would you... Someone tweet me at Actrovision. What is the plural for Lotuses? Lotus I? Lotuses? Don't really know. Hensler is next up on the grid. That is question of the day, ladies and gentlemen. What do you call a group of Lotus cars? Francois de Witter in the background. Then we've got Natalie Chenot-Prechaud. Again, in these open top cars, it will be more like a hot tub than a race car by the end of it. More like a canoe, as there is some rain on the windscreen of that car for sure. Bailey Edwards, great work by the cameraman for sure. Giving us a little bit of an insight as to what the weather is. nearly catches the camera in the window. Toby Goodman then in the number 85. Looks like the weather is coming in at the perfect time. So it's going to be a dry track to start with on the formation lap, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last. That is very dark. It's very windy. We are in for some treacherous conditions here. And, well, I'm overly not too sure what is going to go down in this race. We've got half the grid, then we've got lights on. Half the grid haven't got lights on. It looks like it's about to turn to about 9 p.m. at night time, but it's not. It is in the middle of the afternoon. It's only 4 p.m. But all we need to know is that on the right-hand side of your grid, it is indeed Tamas Vizin, who yesterday started from pole, ended up losing the race on the last couple of corners to Bence Ballo, who is on the left-hand side of your screen. And we are off then for our formation lap. And again, all just trying to find the traction levels here. The weather really is coming in. And I tell you what, I'm going to give credit. I can't. Who told me? Let me just look at my WhatsApp messages here. Who told me that it was going to rain at 4 p.m.? Okay, so it was Olivier of the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He said it was going to start raining at 1600 hours, and it started raining at exactly 1600 hours. And look at this, it is absolutely sodden here already. It's taken hardly any time at all, but this has gone from dry to wet very quickly indeed, and this will not dry up before the end of the race. So this is it. It's going to be a wet race here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm wondering whether we're going to be maybe starting behind a safety car. I don't know what's going to go down. Well, that's your answer. It's a red flag. Straight away, they are red flagging this race. So waiting for confirmation to indeed pop up on our screens here. But it looks as though we are going to be going into the pits. So we're just having a little look there on board with Jean-Pierre Genot-Prachet. He's been with the Lotus Cup Europe for 11 years. He was in a production class for a couple of years as well. He is back for the 2021 season in the open top. So again, as you just saw there, red flags aplenty. Lots of umbrellas out there. But yeah, look how wet the track's got already here. The flag's so wet you can't wave it. So into the pits they will all come. And whether or not that's going to be the call of it, the end of it, remains to be seen. They will pull them in momentarily. And as soon as I get any information, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you information. And not only is it raining, it is thundering. You can hear that, that's for sure. Tamas Vizin still not put his lights on. He's like, yes, it is what it is. Used to this kind of driving, it's fine. Everyone else is like, yep, full light, full beam. As you can see, it's just not nice out there at all. It's just proper storm weather. The wind is crazy here as well. And everyone's just like, right, let's pack up, let's go home. Well, how many marshals can you fit into a post? Well, by the looks of things, 4. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we're going to be having a race here in the Lotuses. That is wet. The start-finish straight is now already like a river. I feel like we're on a National Geographic channel now. But that doesn't look like it's going to subside anytime soon. Belgium, we hardly knew her. So all of the Lotuses are then going to just park up here. And I think this might be it. Again, it is Belgium, so it could clear up very quickly. It could stay raining for the next 40 weeks. But as you can see here along the start-finish straight, it is wetter than an otter's pocket. That just doesn't look very comfortable, does it? At all. Just keeping out of the rain for sure. So the cars then are just lined up waiting to be given any information as to what is going to happen, and it's just like the flick of a switch here. It just looks like it's nighttime. Incredible scenes. So again, it's all great. It's fantastic for all of these drivers that are in a tin top car. But then you've got Nathalie Genot-Prachet, who's unfortunately in an open top car. And there's 2 others as well, which is just not ideal. You've got Jean-Pierre Genot-Prachet as well, who is in the open top car as well. And then again, we're on board right now, the number 28, Francoise de Witter, who in a minute is going to start to get the bucket out and start trying to get rid of the water inside of the car. But they've just got to sit there. Like, that is horrendous. So I guess they'll give it 5-10 minutes maybe to see whether it does indeed pass. Okay, so I've just had some information sent to me. The race control have stopped. Of course, that's what the red flag was for. And they are actually looking for the weather to pass by, so they reckon it might not last too long. And we could be having some racing action. So that is the official word right now. So the race is not being called off. So we could be in business for a race here. So we have got a little bit of a delay, as we are looking on board then with the number 13 car there, Lucas Bscher. Lucas has previously experienced racing in Elise Trophy and the Lotus Cup Europe. So, yeah, he is all Lotused out of his brain. Loves the Lotus. As you can hear there, the thunder and lightning. Also happening here, and that rain. It's pretty strong, isn't it? So there's nothing more frustrating for the drivers than something like this. They've just got their adrenaline levels up. They're all excited for the race start. And then the weather comes in and says, no. Gino Prochet there with the umbrella. Poor Jean-Pierre in front, no umbrella. So they're just trying to get rid of the steam, I think. Steam off of the windscreens. This is where you find out how watertight your cars are. So as you can see here, that is not just a wet track, that is a river. There will be very little grip, if any, around this chicane. And that is a lot of water that we're expecting to be drained away for a potential race. So again, on board with the number 13. Say, always cool to have a car that the roof drops down on in the summer, down by the coast, chilling, getting some evening food by the beach. But racing at Zolder, when it's raining like this, not so cool. Not so cool at all. Not very practical. So here is the second to last chicane, if you like. It's not really a chicane, it's flat out through there. Actually, it might not be flat out now, just judging by how much rain's on the circuit. But it is now, as you can see, just a river. It's going to take some drainage to get off the circuit. I just cannot believe how quickly it's gone from nothing to this. And there's a drainage there working. Say, we get much more rain here, you'd be able to dip your fishing rod on the start-finish straight and catch some fish. It does look like it's subsiding ever so slightly. The thunder and lightning's still there, but yeah, the rain isn't coming down as strongly as it once was. And the drivers now are getting out the car. As I wouldn't get your phone out in this weather. He's looking at his weather app going, what's the weather like then? It does look like it actually is starting to slow down here. So maybe we are going to see some racing. Not overly sure what's going on here. Yeah, it doesn't look like the weather is subsiding, actually. So we are going to have a very wet circuit. But it means that we will see these cars go around. Whether that means that they're... Okay, so we've just had official confirmation. Start is delayed, but they are going to start the race. And they're going to start behind the safety car initially. So we are going to get some racing action. Whew, this is exciting. And how appropriate is it that on the exit of the pit lane it says start your race? You couldn't write it. the third generation of cone has survived in that first chicane this weekend, by the looks of things, unless one of the Lotus takes it out. But that is the third one that's been placed there. Still waiting for the answer, though. At ActRollVision on Twitter or Instagram, please send me a message. I want to know what you would call a group of Lotuses. Is it Lotusi? Is it Lotuses? Lotuses? Well, I think I've got God in my ear here. It's just said Loti from the production team. Loti. I don't know. That's a good one. So we're about ready to rock and roll here. As you can see, some final checks there, some tyres being changed, all of the above. And are we still going to see a grandstand race, though, between Tamas Vizin and Bence Ballo? Those two were sensational yesterday. And are we going to see the same again today? That's the question. Who has the answer? And if you have not watched yesterday's race, I implore you to go watch it. It was a phenomenal race. So just to confirm, in 5 minutes' time, we will have a safety car restart. So 5 minutes' time. So they're getting their final checks and stuff, and then we are good to go. And red flag starts have become a little bit more popular over the last sort of 12 months. You see them a lot in Formula One at the moment. I had not seen one in 10 years, and now we've had like 4 or 5 over the last season or so. As well, you can't be that surprised there was someone behind you. You've just been in the same room with 17 different marshals. So there we go. It's official. We're going to have a safety car restart in 3 minutes' time. And the race will officially start from the pit lane as well. There we go. Always good to see marshals warming up. So just making sure they've got the right rhythm with the flag waving. So you never know when you're going to get called into action, and you do not want to be stiff. You want to be nice and loose. So yeah, great warm up there. I'm doing it as well now. I'm rotating those shoulders, just making sure I'm nice and warm, ready for the inevitability of using my flag at some point. Well, not going to lie, that's the best seat in the house, isn't it? For sure. Oh, the race is delayed. Oh, I'm going to be late home. Oh, I guess I better have another beer. Such a shame. Very close then to a safety car restart. So we will start under the safety car. And indeed, we're going now. So what's going to happen is, this means that we'll maybe, it could depend. The safety car will now make the decision, so will race director. They'll try and get rid of as much water by just driving around the circuit effectively. And then we can look to maybe get this race started officially. But the race will start, the timer will go down, but the safety car will pop in when it's deemed safe enough to do so. But fair play. Fair play to the drivers, fair play to everybody involved. Not going to lie, this might be difficult to spot anything going down with all of the rain on the cameras. But yeah, fair play to everybody concerned. Because this is going to be interesting, to say the very least, to watch. And I'm sure on the edge of my seat. And well, this is going to take a few laps here to get rid of all of that water off the circuit, isn't it? There is a lot of water. I think we're going to need a boat. And well, the man that was on top of that crane as a cameraman has they've pulled it down like, yep, no, thunder and lightning, not getting you involved in that. It's a dangerous job up there. So he'll be thankful. His day's come to an end early. And look at that big puddle on the left-hand side of your screen. You do not want to be venturing over there, that's for sure. Over the crest. This is going to be the most difficult part of the circuit, really, to get any traction. It's blind as well. But again, they're just trying to get rid of most of the water from the racing line. Again, it's kind of like you've got to work together at this stage. Just work together, make sure you try and get as much off the circuit as possible. Then we can get this race beginning as soon as possible as well. So that is a lot of moisture on the circuit, isn't it? So the race has begun. As you can see there, we are 22 minutes, 40 seconds away from the end of this race. So we're going to be under safety car. I would imagine we're going to be under safety car for a few laps here. I can't see the safety car just popping straight back in. And if they do, then, well, that is exciting news. No, safety car stayed out at least for this lap then. So I think we may have 2, 3, 4, 5 laps maybe under safety car. So it is very sodden out there. Again, look how much water is. Drainage here, though, is really good because it was basically a river at the start-finish straight merely minutes ago. So the drainage here is good. I guess if you build a circuit in Belgium, you've got to have pretty decent drainage. So let's have a little chat about the cars then. So we've got the number 1 car, Tamas Vizin. Again, he was the champion in 2016 and 2020. He's actually in pole position today. He's looking to try and win another championship this season. We have then got the number 2 car, Lotus Ring Evora, has multiple Lotus Cup Europe podiums to its name, including an overall race win. We then got Matthias Radestock in a production class, 2020 MSVR Elise Trophy champion. 2021 will be the first season. It's the first season he's actually taken part in the championship. Eric Liebor not racing today. David McNulty, he is near the back end of the grid. And again, if you have a Lotus European Cup without the McNultys, without the Belows, without the Geno Prechets, is it really a Lotus Cup Europe Championship? I would say probably not. Janos Santa not racing today, by the looks of things. Jason McNulty, I think only one of the McNultys was here this weekend, and by the looks of things, neither of them are on the actual grid today. Natalie Geno Prechet, then the number 14. You'll be able to notice that car. It's 1, an open top. 2, indeed, it's bright pink. Class champion in 2020. So 2021 will be the 10th season for Natalie, racing her pink 2-11 in Lotus Cup Europe. She's had numerous podiums over the years. Thierry Verheijsten, he is the silver car or grey car with the 2 orange stripes running down the middle. He's actually a main dealer for Belgium. He's competed in the European Cup or the Europe Cup for Lotus since its launch in 2006. He's been there from the very beginning. He's had numerous podiums over the year as well. He's actually the longest serving driver, and you'd expect that considering he's been there from day 1. We've got Daniel Palmer then. And, Daniel is just here for another year's racing. He's very much looking forward to it as well. As we've got the big umbrellas up at the bar. So if there's one thing the rain can't stop, that is enjoying a couple of beers whilst watching the racing. Francois de Witter, first time I've actually seen him racing this season. I've commentated earlier on this season with the Lotus Euro Cup, and he wasn't there, but good to see him racing today. And his Lotus, ironically, has got like a very Alpine F1-looking livery to it, a very French-looking livery. We then got Kai Cederholm. He's in the number 32 in the production class, a little bit further back in the grid. We've got Bailey Edwards in the production class as well. He'll be repping in the number 33. We've then got Mick Edwards in the number 34. He first started racing in 2007. He then did indeed just disappear for a few years, but he's back competing, of course. He's actually racing against his son. So Bailey Edwards is his son. So we've got Mick and Bailey. Paul Marichal, he's in a similar car to Thierry Verheist. He's in a grey car with the yellow stripes running down the middle opposed to orange. This is his first season. There we go. In the V6 Cup. Robin Nilsson, then, he is in the earth colour cars, I guess you could say. The green and blue with then the coloured stripes down the middle, very Italian. He's from Sweden, is Robin Nilsson. He's in the V6 Cup as well. He's repping the number 59. He actually does indeed start 6th on the grid today. We've got Ronald Andrzejek then, who's in the number 76, the German. It's his first season within our championship here. Jean-Pierre Genoud-Prachet, he's been in the Lotus Cup Europe for 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. Driven in the production class a while ago. But yeah, he is, of course, now repping the open tops in the number 79. Sven Pettersson on the second row of the grid today. He's been racing in this cup since 2011, so that's 10 years. He's won the production class championship in 2018, and then he's now indeed running in the V6 Cup class. And there's the fans there waving. Yes, you've finally got some racing. Great patience, though, from everybody in the crowd. Then we've got Bent Ballo, the last driver then that we will be talking about today. He was 2018-2019 champion, but unfortunately couldn't race last year due to COVID. So Tamas Vizin picked up another championship. And Bent Ballo then will, of course, be wanting to try and retain that safety car, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it may have just gone into the pits here. Or are we still under safety car? I think the safety car... I'm sure the safety car disappeared. Yeah, here we go. We are racing, ladies and gentlemen, and Tamas Vizin does take them away. And we are green flag racing here at a very wet Zolder. It's Tamas Vizin then versus Bent Ballo as they're trying to find a dry line then through turn number 1. And Tamas Vizin is coming through there, aquaplaning his way through there, should we say. And it's more like boat racing at this stage. And again, the faster they go, the more laps they get through here. Obviously, the more water is going to be displaced from the circuit. As you can see, Sven Pettersson then and Daniel Palmer trying to battle for P3. These two already dropped by the front two. Again, finding all of that grip here. Bent Ballo expecting to potentially be a little bit slower than Tamas Vizin at the start, but ultimately he's more patient. He will try and find the grip on circuit and then watch him come back near the end of this race. Again, we have already nearly halfway through our race here, so we've got 16 minutes remaining. And as you can see here, Daniel Palmer under a lot of pressure here from Sven Pettersson down in towards then our first chicane along the back straight, and under braking they go. Again, you've got to try and find your braking point really early here. So grabbing a load of curb. And again, it's people who take the most chances are obviously going to gain the most positions at this stage of the race. But ultimately, it is high risk and very, very high reward. But also, there's a high chance of you ending up facing backwards into a wall or into the gravel or on some grass. Through the second chicane they come. And I'll tell you what, it's been a very good start from everybody here. So those laps behind the safety car, again, won't have given too much of an indication of where to put their car on the track. But looks like, you know, the star-studded field that we do have here, they found their groove very, very quickly indeed. Here is the race start, and well, we are probably just about going to see one car because the rest of the cars are going to be covered in spray. So there's Tamas Vizin then making his way down into turn number 1. Bent Ballo in that, again, very much Formula 1 livery from Lotus nearly 10 years ago. Black, gold, and red. As there's a big old tank slapper there. That was very interesting there from Robin Nilsson. And there's our first spinner. Oh, very unfortunate there. And held on to it. Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay. That's one for the fans, one for the cameras. Wembler holding on to the car as we have ended the first lap then under green flag conditions. And Tamas Vizin then, oh, he runs out wide here to open up the corner and almost aquaplaned off into the grass there. That would have been an absolute nightmare. Daniel Palmer, by the way, is held on to P3 under some severe pressure here from Pettersson, and they are tiptoeing their way around at this stage. And you're going to start to see people start to take chances, people who've figured stuff out. Race control, Mick Edwards then's got a drive-through penalty. Oh dear. So a drive-through penalty for Mick Edwards. That is not good at all. So we're just watching the number 32 go past there of Kai Cederholm. And all of the Swede drivers are up into the top sort of... Yeah, they're in the top 10, all three of them. So Vizin still leading here. Bent Ballo. There's number 34, Mick Edwards, who has indeed got himself that drive-through penalty. So the run then towards the final few corners. Daniel Palmer again holding on pretty nicely. And these two were battling for position for the entirety of the race. For the entirety of the race yesterday. And then we've got a Belgian in P5, which we kind of, yeah, it would have been nice to see a Belgian win a race this weekend in the Lotus Cup. It's not quite worked out. So Verheijst then leading a very similar looking car of Marichal. There's Vizin then coming around the first couple of corners here again, holding on to the lead and actually starting to really find some pace. You can see the difference in pace the front two have, and considering everyone else, they're always 13 seconds clear of everybody. So yeah, it hasn't taken them long to figure out this circuit with these conditions. Again, they're only going to get faster and faster as the water does indeed disappear. And well, in all fairness, the windscreen wipers are fully on for the race leader here. So I'm wondering now if the rain may be starting to come back down here at Zolder. As the camera are trying to pick up then what the battle for P3 is like. And I'll tell you what, it is very feisty indeed. Daniel Palmer just up ahead in P3. And well, is there the potential here of a move being made by Sven Pettersson? No, there is not. Although, as they come through here, it did look like Daniel Palmer may have just missed his braking point there. And actually, he is slow on exit, so for sure has missed it slightly, but not enough then. So Palmer is indeed still going to hold on to that podium position. With Pettersson just in behind. Pettersson, though, just patiently waiting for a potential mistake. But now they're being caught here. So Thierry Verheijst, Marichal, Robin Nielsen now closing up here. So this could potentially become a four-way battle for what would be a podium position. These two are very close indeed. And as you can see, Ballot then is starting to really shine here, although just got a bit of a tank slapper on exit. And wow, hello. That's one for the cameras again as well. Tamas Viz in there sliding that rear out. Well, there was the potential move by our number 32, Kai Cederholm. This is from P9. Didn't quite get the job done. And here we go then. Sven Pettersson has found a little bit of an opening here. But ultimately, the car just seems a little bit better through the corner as opposed to the straights. He's got to try and force Daniel Palmer into a mistake in underbraking. But Palmer just keeps hitting his mark here. Again, the marks are going to become a little bit shorter and shorter and shorter as this race indeed goes on. As the moisture on the circuit does indeed disappear. Again, we're not going to get a dry line, don't get me wrong. It's not ever going to be dry now for the entirety of this race, but ultimately it will get a little bit faster. Turn one, though, still so treacherous. It is like a river through there. Look at Pettersson there. Pettersson is as close as he has been. And it's all about nailing these right-handers onto that back straight. He hasn't really been close enough to take advantage of Daniel Palmer, but it seems like on exits here, Pettersson is the faster car, and there is some side-by-side action here, and there's contact between the two, and Palmer just turned in. Palmer just turned in there. Well, Pettersson's backed out. He didn't need to, I don't think. I don't think he's done anything wrong there particularly. But Daniel Palmer is just completely turned in there. Sven Pettersson was, well along the up the inside and ultimately hangs on. Thierry Verheijst, Marichal now closing in as well. And again, this is now going to become a five-way battle for that podium. It's going to be a very good battle for the podium here. But as it stands there, Daniel Palmer defending valiantly and holding on. Robin Nielsen's now just dropped onto the back of this group here as well. So there's four Swedes, of course, in the top 10 as it stands. But the key to this battle right now is Daniel Palmer. Oh, who is that? Tamas Vizin? Hold on, is that Pete? No, it's not. It's a back marker. I thought that was Tamas Vizin then, the leader of this race. He's currently 7/10 clear. So here we go. We see that into turn one, there is a real tight entry there from Daniel Palmer. And then he just turns in. Yeah, I think Pettersson had every right. Although, no, Pettersson does run a little bit wide as well. It's kind of a bit of 50-50 there. Now I can understand why Pettersson's let him go. And, well, we're going to see a round two in a minute. As you can see, Marichal then trying to make a move on Verheijst here, but they're going to also deal with the back marker. Robin Nielsen's the one who's going to lose out, actually. The lead, though, 0.8 of a second. Yeah, the lead now 0.8 of a second between the two Hungarians at the front end of the grid. 8 minutes 30 seconds to go. And again, it is just tiptoe stations at this stage. So the water is going to be, of course, dissipated by these drivers just driving over it, but not this quickly. You're going to need to be on here for a couple of hours with these cars now for it to dry up, I think. So we are going to have proper wet conditions for the pretty much, well, the entirety of this race here. And again, Sven Pettersson all over the rear of Daniel Palmer. And again, he's just going to try and open up and up and up and up. So Mick Edwards there was in the pits, and I think he just stopped. Just go, excuse me, what is my drive-through penalty for? Which is only going to cost him more time. The leaders, though, it is very similar to yesterday. 7 minutes to go on the clock. And the front two are absolutely flying here, by the way. 30 seconds clear of everybody. You could just tell the difference in pace they have. They're just quicker. Simple as that. Tamas Vizin, though, still in the lead. And Bence Ballo in second spot. Are we going to see what happened yesterday? The same as what happened yesterday. Into the final sector, it was indeed Bence Ballo who did get the position in the end. And, well, here is the battle for the final podium spot here. Sven Pettersson not quite close enough. Thierry Verheijden left the door open for Marichal. Marichal not able to indeed unlock it, missing the key. But he'll be waiting for the rest of this race. McNulty is one of the drivers out of the session. They weren't in the session, I don't think, anyway. Andrashek is also out of the race here as well. It's actually two drivers that have indeed disappeared. Apologies for any of the technical issues where you weren't able to hear the commentary. I can only apologise for the software we're using. Unfortunately, just cut out. Strangely. Anyway, the front two, as it stands, 4/10 of a second between them. And here we go. There is a battle, and that is exactly where Ballo tried it yesterday around the outside. And, well, he's not able to indeed do it. Vizin there has just exactly used his experience from yesterday and gone, not again, my friend, not again. You've done me there once. You're not going to do me there again. Through the final chicane they come, and Tamas Vizin now all of a sudden has got to defend for his life. He had to do this yesterday for about 20 minutes. He's only got 5 minutes to do it this time out. That car is a little bit quicker in a straight line, but Bence Ballo's Lotus, the black and gold, is a little bit better through the corners, a little bit better under braking. And in these conditions, you really will see the difference in the cars for sure. And oh, Tamas Vizin slides the car out wide there through turn one, holds on to the position. Wow, incredible scenes. Is he going to be able to hold on to this position, though? Again, it just seems like he's on the absolute ragged edge as Ballo tries to find a little bit of momentum up the inside here. And again, Tamas Vizin holds on, and he's got a straight line here, which is indeed going to get him out of trouble a little bit. But you can see them working the wheel, working the bars. Look at that slide there. Well controlled indeed. It was actually a very controlled slide. It was kind of like that. Well, let's step the rear out. Let's get this front turn in. And as they come down in towards that second chicane, Bence Ballo then opens it up better, so he should get a better exit here. But again, Tamas Vizin sliding that car around. You've got to be brave if you want to go round the outside of the crest here. You've got to be brave if you want to go round the outside of the crest here. Bence Ballo is very brave, and he goes over the crest around the inside. It's beautiful. He's got the job done. Through the chicane he goes, and wow, not only is he provided one of the best moments I've ever seen in motorsport personally, yesterday, he's gone and done it again. That is incredible. Tamas Vizin has to get this position back as soon as possible. Otherwise, it is indeed going to be an easy victory for Ballo in the end with only a couple of laps to go. Under braking we go. Tamas Vizin in the red car now in second. Got to force a mistake here from Bence Ballo. And as it stands then, you can see on the exit that just not able to get that power down is Vizin. And Bence Ballo has just provided a beautiful moment there. Incredible overtake. And again, the bravery shown. Braking again more than once there, Vizin. Braked a little bit too early, realised that, and then had to get on the brakes once again. But here we go, we've got a replay here. So again, gets squared up through the chicane, so cannot get on the power early enough, slides around. And again, that's the nature of Vizin's style within these conditions. And then they come over the crest, and as you can see, below is a lot better under braking with that car. It's not quite got the straight line poke. Gets the block pass in. It's beautifully done, beautifully negotiated, and that's P1 once again. And it's not been an easy weekend for Bence Balot. He's had to make 2 incredible overtakes this weekend to indeed get victories, and I think it's going to happen again here. Superb stuff from the Hungarian to the Hungarian. And Vizin, he's just got to be thinking, what do I need to do? What can I do in this championship? When this driver is on this kind of form, it's almost impossible. Fair play. Again, you just got to keep qualifying on pole and just keep driving your heart out. Fair play, though. That's an incredible move. Through turn number 1 we come then. 2 minutes 40 seconds to go of our racing action. Bence Balot leads by 1.6 seconds, and he's already got a nice gap. Fair play to Daniel Palmer. He has kept Sven Pettersson at bay this entire race. Again, it's only been around about an 18-minute race because we had to start, of course, up behind a safety car. But ultimately, he has done the job he needed to do. The 2 Swedes battling out. Well, talking of Swedes, we've got another Swede then battling for, well, just to hold on, really, to P10. Hold on to those points, or that point. But yeah, you can see that the number 85 car is really piling on that pressure of Cederholm. These two have been battling for the entirety of this race as well. It's been a classic. So Toby Goodman wanted to try and potentially get up into that top 10. But again, Kai Cederholm is doing a sensational job here. And again, they're going to only have 2 laps remaining of this race, as the leaders are potentially going to be right up behind them, actually. So maybe more than that, although they will be lapped by that point. So the leaders, I think that's Bence Balot in the background here, is just about starting the final lap of the race. Yeah, so I think this is the final lap of the race, of course. Lap times are around about the 1 minute 40 mark anyway. But in wet conditions, of course, it's going to be a lot slower. So it officially is the last lap. You can see it on your screens there. And there's some lap traffic to deal with. So are we finished here? Where's Balot going to catch them? That's the question. Will he catch them? Are they a little bit too far up the road? Maybe not. I think he will probably catch them. And it's all about whether Vizin can take full advantage. Well, here's Toby Goodman. Well, no, here's that's a lap move. Look at that, though. For a fake in the background. Oh, that's not ideal. Number 13 car just completely misses his braking point. And unfortunately falls off the circuit. That's Lucas Bashir. And that will be, as it's the last lap, I would imagine there should be double yellows through there. It's green on the exit, so they're all good. So Balot is going to catch up to them. Or he might just catch up to them to the final few corners here. Tamas Vizin's going to see this and think there might be a little sneaky opportunity to take a position here. So he is now really catching up to them. Only a few corners to go. Bence Balot, the only way he's losing this race is if he gets held up. It's the worst timing possible to be catching. He's going to catch him in towards the final corner here. And again, how much is he going to be held up? Are they going to be expecting him? So Balot then in behind the number 33. And is going to get it relatively simply. Yeah, okay, Bence Balot is going to be good here. Again, had to make another sensational move to get the race victory. Julie has delivered that sensational move. And well, if there's anyone that deserves 2 race victories in a weekend, it is Bence Balot. He comes across the line and he picks up another victory here in the Lotus Cup Europe. Tamas Vizin, he's just going to be thinking, what can I do? What can I do? You know, he did everything right, but unfortunately he's just lost out there. Again, the car was just very unstable on getting the power down. And Tamas Vizin will take P2. Daniel Palmer is only 4 tenths ahead now of Pettersson. So those two are battling for P3 as it stands. Hopefully we get some camera time with them as well. Again, number 21 and 88. Yes, here we are then. So we're coming up towards the final couple of corners here. I think Palmer is going to hang on. But it's been a sensational performance from Palmer to get himself onto the podium. Once again, it's going to be the same podium 2 races in a row. But not for the want of Pettersson trying, that's for sure. Across the line he's going to come. And a very, very well-performed P3. Pettersson then is going to take P4. We've then got Verheist, Marichal in P5 and P6 respectively. And wow, what a race it was. Didn't think it was going to happen, to be honest. I thought there was too much water on the circuit. But they have indeed gone out there. And I tell you what, the lack of incidents just goes to show the standard of driving in this championship. So I tip my hat to all of the teams, all of the drivers, especially the drivers. But also the marshals, the race control, making correct decisions. We always want to see racing, of course. You have to weigh up the safety of the drivers as well. And ultimately, it was the right decision today. Robin Nielsen, in the number 59, will come across the line in 7th position. But these two, oh man, I cannot wait to see how well these two race against each other over the next few rounds. But anyway, here is your podium. Daniel Palmer will take P3 in the number 21. Tamas Vizin, who's just done everything right this weekend. It's been absolutely superb. Will finish in 2nd position. And the only reason he's finished in 2nd position is because Benz Ballot has gone through the roof in performance. 110% this weekend. He's been sensational. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm now going to leave you with all of the ceremonies. I've had an absolute blast commentating on the Lotus Cup Europe. Hopefully you've all enjoyed the broadcast as well. Hopefully I'll be back in the future with this championship. Who knows? But yeah, enjoy the ceremonies. Have a good weekend. And I've been Luke Crane. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Tamas are here. We're just waiting for the drivers to arrive here on the stage for the podium ceremony. I see our Swedish guy, Daniel Palmer, he's just behind the car, and I'm waiting for Tamas Vietin and Bence Balog, our top two guys, and here we are, and ready for the podium ceremony. And here's the top three, starting with the third place from Sweden, number 21, Daniel Palmer. Congratulations, up to the podium. Podium. And you're allowed to take your third step on podium, Daniel. And we're going to move over to the second place from Hungary with the number 1 in the red car. His name is Tamas Vietin. Congratulations! And the winner of the second round of the Lotus Cup Europe here in Zolder on Sunday is the number 95. Clap your hands and congratulations, Bence Balog! And just for you, the Hungarian national anthem. Thank you very much. We enjoyed your podium ceremony and the race, the first wet race of the day, but it was pretty spectacular. Now guys, take your trophies and we take the photos for the family album. And so everyone is happy. There's some more wetness to come, gentlemen. Now take your bottles, it's time for champagne!
Egyben 6.